Mayor Sandy Stimpson, who served in the role for more than 12 years. This is a live look in, and you can see just how packed that room is down at Government Plaza. Councilman Ben Reynolds is giving his speech at this moment. That's who you see at the podium there, as people are intently listening in and now clapping and standing as this ceremony continues on. We did recently speak with former Mobile Mayor now, Sandy Stimpson, as he reflects on his tenure, and you can see both parts of that interview. It's on our website, fox10tv.com. After the swearing-in ceremonies, the mayor and council members will give their remarks, and of course, that is what you're seeing happening right here. A lot going on, a lot of moving parts. We are there live, and we will have more on this coming up for you a little bit later on. So we are waiting again. I do not believe Spirit Chair Gaddis has spoken just yet, but if he has, we did cover it, and we'll bring that to you later on. All right, well, hi there, and welcome in to Fox 10. It's Monday in November, the first Monday of November. I'm Shelby Myers, and today for Ashlyn Mitchell. You may have noticed my voice is a little bit different than Ashlyn's starting things off today, but it's good to see you.
It's good to see you, too, and we get to spend a little bit more time together. We usually do the 3 together on Mondays and Tuesdays when I'm here, so I'm like, hey, Shelby.
I know, we get 2 shows together, so very excited about that, and also really excited about the forecast.
Yes.
Woke up this morning, and I was like, ooh, it's chilly. I might have to cut my heater on.
Yes, I went out this morning with Stormy about 4:30. That's when she wakes up to go potty and, like, you know, to eat, because I have to feed her at 5 a.m. because of my weekend schedule. So I'm out. I'm like, please hurry up, please. Oh. It was really cold this morning, but we are going to see a little bit of a warming trend, which is different than what we've seen the last week. We'll get to that in a minute, but let's take a live look outside right now on our All-in Credit Union camera in Mobile. You can see not a single cloud in the sky, plenty of sunshine. That's going to be the continuation for the day, especially over the next 5-hour period. Temperatures are slowly going to go up. We'll be at 64 degrees by noon. Then we'll stay about 66 degrees for the entirety of the afternoon. Temperatures across the area, though, some of us are still in that 50-degree range, especially in our more inland spots. We have 59 in Chatham, 58 in Monroeville, 57 in Bruton, 59 Molino, 61 in Navarre, 62 in Pensacola, 64 in Gulf Shores, and 64 degrees in Pascagoula. Like I mentioned, those temperatures are not really going to be changing all that much. They'll be pretty seasonable, below average. We usually see temperatures around 74 degrees this time of year, but look at that. We see sunset now at 5 o'clock. It gets darker a lot faster, and that means the temperatures are going to go down starting at 6 o'clock. We'll be at 57 degrees, then 51 degrees by 9 o'clock. Dew points are going to stay relatively dry, and that's not going to change much for our day today. That will change, though, coming in on Friday. We're going to be well into that dry category throughout the entirety of the day. You don't even see a bar show up on our muggy meter just because of how dry we are right now. The threshold is about 55 degrees or lower into that dry category. Day planner, though, overall, we woke up chilly. We'll have a little bit of that warm up. We do have breezy conditions today, but as we get into that 7 o'clock hour, we get back into the 50s. Overall, what the main thing we are tracking right now is how we're going to be above average. As you can see, our 7-day highs, average is 74 degrees. We're below average for our Monday, right where we're supposed to be for Tuesday. Then we're getting into the upper 70s starting on Wednesday, maybe even 80 degrees on Friday, which is definitely not something we're used to for November. I'll be breaking the rest of your Monday forecast as well as what we're expecting in the long range coming up.
All right, Hannah, we will see you then. Well, right now, the Pentagon is preparing for possible military action in Nigeria while continuing its buildup of warships, fighter jets, and drones off the coast of Venezuela. Fox's Rebecca Castor has the latest on these evolving military plans.
The Pentagon has its sights set on 2 missions: stopping alleged drug smugglers en route to the U.S. and protecting persecuted Christians in Nigeria.
They're killing record numbers of Christians in Nigeria. We're not going to allow that to happen.
President Trump is warning the U.S. may go into Nigeria guns a-blazing if the government does not take action. According to international human rights groups, more than 50,000 Christians have been murdered in the country since 2009.
Nigeria is the worst place to be as a Christian. I've witnessed where terrorism is at the highest point, where people are killed and slaughtered like chickens every day.
Across the ocean, the U.S. military destroyed another suspected drug smuggling boat on Saturday, killing 3 people on board. With multiple warships, F-35 fighter jets, and thousands of service members deployed in the Caribbean, CBS's 60 Minutes asked the president if he's preparing for military intervention.
Are we going to war against Venezuela?
I doubt it. I don't think so, but they've been treating us very badly, not only on drugs. They've dumped hundreds of thousands of people into our country that we didn't want.
Despite previous reports, Trump says he's not planning to strike inside Venezuela, but he's keeping his next moves under wraps.
Supposing there were, would I say that to you would be a very secret plans? Who would say that?
There are reports Venezuela's president is reaching out to Moscow for military aid, while Nigeria's president is open to working with the U.S. to address its security problems. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
And the White House is clarifying President Trump's push to restart nuclear testing after a 30-year pause. The president said several times last week he wants the Pentagon to begin testing America's nuclear arsenal. But on Sunday, his Energy Secretary Chris Wright says those tests will not involve mushroom clouds or fallout, but rather what he called non-critical explosions meant to test the systems involved.
With our science and our computation power, we can simulate incredibly accurately exactly what will happen in a nuclear explosion.
It's still not clear how this new testing will be different from the military's routine assessments of America's nuclear delivery systems, like missiles and submarines. But the president told 60 Minutes on Sunday that it's a response to increased nuclear activity from Russia, including nuclear-powered missiles and torpedoes. North Korea is the only country that has detonated a nuclear weapon in the 21st century. Meanwhile, the federal government remains shut down with no end in sight. If lawmakers do not reopen the government before Wednesday, this shutdown will break the 2018-2019 record for longest in American history. The House is expected to remain in recess while the Senate will be in town. The upper chamber has failed to move forward a House-passed funding bill 13 times now since the shutdown began more than a month ago. A medieval tower near Rome's Colosseum partially collapses for a second time while under renovation. Firefighters were there conducting rescue operations this morning after an initial collapse when suddenly the building gave way again, sending clouds of dust and debris. You see it there on your screen, just billowing out of the windows. It happened near the Roman Forum and the Colosseum, two popular ancient sites. 3 workers were hurt in the first collapse. Another was believed to be trapped. Roman officials say the Torre dei Canti Tower in central Rome was being restored after being vacant since 2006. A large earthquake strikes Afghanistan, killing several people. People in northern Afghanistan sifted through debris after a 6.3 quake struck near the city of Mazar-e-Sharif this morning, killing at least 20 and injuring hundreds. Authorities say the number of people killed is expected to rise. Afghanistan is still in recovery from an earthquake which struck at the end of August, killing more than 2,200 people and injuring thousands. Chaos unfolded on a London-bound train this weekend when police say a man stabbed multiple passengers. Investigators are now working to determine why. Fox News correspondent Stephanie Bennett has more from London.
British police charging a 32-year-old man with attempted murder over a mass stabbing on board a train Saturday night. Nearly a dozen people were injured. The most serious, a member of the train crew who tried to stop the attacker.
A guy in a white t-shirt just jumps out of his seat out of nowhere and starts flew. And I was thinking, what's happened? There was me thinking maybe something happened to him.
The train was halfway on its journey to London when police began receiving calls with reports of multiple stabbings. Passengers described the terrifying moments. Injured victims ran to escape the suspect.
They were extremely bloodied. That person ended up, when we pulled in, they were basically on the floor. We couldn't progress further down the train.
The crew made an emergency stop and police arrived on scene. They detained the suspect within 8 minutes of receiving the first emergency calls. A second person was taken into custody but later released.
Huge tribute to those passengers and the emergency services for their response, because it could have been so much worse.
The 32-year-old made his first court appearance on Monday. Investigators say they are not treating this as an act of terror, but major train stations across the UK are still increasing security.
To see a major incident of this nature is something that is really put everybody, set everybody back.
Police say the suspect faces another attempted murder charge for trying to kill someone at a London station earlier on Saturday. In London, Stephanie Bennett, Fox News.
Let's talk some local news now. Foley police are investigating a shooting which left one person injured. Police say it happened early yesterday morning on South Juniper Street. When officers got there, they found one person had a gunshot wound. Police say the victim had to be airlifted to the hospital with serious injuries. Investigators say at least 3 people have been identified and detained in connection to this shooting. But as of now, it appears no arrests have been made. We are actively reaching out to Foley Police to get more information about the shooting and the victim's condition, as well as the potential suspect or suspects. We'll let you know as soon as we learn more. Mobile police are investigating an incident that left 2 people hurt. This happened early Sunday morning on South Scott Street. When officers arrived on scene, police say they found a man and a woman with non-life-threatening injuries. They were taken to the hospital. According to Mobile Police, the suspect is known to one of the victims. The suspect's name has not yet been released. Well, straight ahead from us, we have some road closures to warn you about. Plus, cleanup continues after Category 5 Hurricane Melissa pummeled the Caribbean islands. Hannah?
Well, we're tracking for current conditions right now, finally getting into that 60-degree range after a chilly start to our day. Plenty of sunshine. We will see those breezy conditions with winds out of the north-northeast around 10 to 15 miles per hour. Luckily, we're still staying dry, so we're not altering that feels-like temperature, but we do have a change coming up in the forecast, which I'll be breaking down after these messages.
Welcome back in. A recovery from Hurricane Melissa continues intensifying across the Caribbean as more rescue and relief teams armed with critical supplies keep trying to access isolated communities in some of the worst hit regions like Western Jamaica. Many survivors, they're still in disbelief, but thankful they're alive. The trail of destruction is severe, causing some people to travel miles to try and find basic items and to check on other family members. Officials visiting disaster sites are focusing on restoring power and cell phone service.
I'm going to now do a tour on the ground to see what your electricity grid damage is like.
Views from the ground and sky are also showing the scope of Melissa's impacts on crop fields in Jamaica and in storm-battered Cuba. Well, making sure that we're prepared during natural disasters. That was the goal of today's Disaster Resilience Forum. Our Stephen Moody was there this morning. He joins us live now with more on that. Stephen, this is something that we all know about all too well.
Yeah, Shelby, that's right. We're on the tail end of this hurricane season, but the beginning of our second severe weather season here in the area. But it's important to have these discussions before disaster happens and not afterwards. That was hosted by the Mobile Chamber, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, and Allstate. And today, the focus was on the financial aspect of staying prepared. Now, according to the Chamber of Commerce, the United States experienced 27 separate billion-dollar disasters, totaling more than $182 billion in damages, costing not only communities, but the residents who live in them. Today's forum was a good way to forward the discussion on how to help reduce long-term costs for local residents, and it starts with a team.
So you need to have trusted partners talking with each other before a disaster happens. That's the benefit of forums like these, planning ahead of the disaster, so that when disaster does happen, you know who you're talking to, what they can do, and then also what the plan is once the disaster or once the crisis is over and you have to start recovering from it.
And Shelby, living in the Gulf Coast here, we know just how impactful those storms can be just throughout the entire year. So being able to focus on it financially before it happens, I mean, that's a big game changer when it comes to if a storm happens, what to do afterwards.
Yeah, that's definitely critical. And here we are on the tail end of hurricane season, and we've been spared mostly. But as we know, living on the Gulf Coast, it's not just hurricanes that affect us.
Exactly. In the last few weeks or so, we've had some severe weather outbreaks here in our area. So being able to have these discussions, I mean, it brings a peace of mind to people. So we're just glad to do that. And of course, Fox 10's Lenise Lagon was also there as a moderator for the Disaster Resilience Forum as well, too.
All right, Stephen. Well, thank you very much for that report. And of course, we are always thinking about the weather and the forecast. But right now, we're just thinking how lovely it is.
Yes, Shelby, it's absolutely gorgeous outside. Here's a live look over at Pensacola Beach. Blue skies out there. The water is looking great as well. We continue to see those low risk of rip currents, but I don't think a lot of people will be going into the water today. We're continuing to see those chilly starts. Let's take a look at our weather headlines and what we're tracking for this week. We did have that chilly start, and then we'll have those sunny, mild afternoons. But the main thing we are tracking is we do have a warming trend coming later on this week, but we'll continue to stay dry for the most part. Going forward into our temperatures for today, we're going to see those seasonable temperatures. We usually have an average of about 74 degrees this time of year. You can see we're definitely well below that. We'll be in the mid 60s starting around noon today. Then we'll get to 61 degrees by 5 o'clock. That's when we have sunset happen. We're in standard time now, so it gets dark a lot faster. So by 6 o'clock, we'll be dropping into the 50s and continuing our decline to 49 degrees by 10 o'clock. Forecast highs for today, we're going to be in the upper 60s through the majority of the area. 67 for a high in Mobile, 67 in Pensacola, 68 in Crestview, 67 in Evergreen, 66 in Monroeville, and 67 degrees in Lucedale. Dew points are going to continue to stay dry today. That's not going to change all that much as we go on throughout our Monday and into the middle part of this week. What else we're seeing is we're seeing those gusty conditions today. Wind speeds around 10 to 15 miles per hour until about 6 o'clock. We start to calm down, but our wind gusts are going to be around, near 20 miles per hour. So you'll definitely notice that if you're outside today. Our afternoon planner, besides the gusty winds, it's going to be pretty pleasant. We'll continue to see that sunshine as temperatures get into the mid to upper 60s throughout the day. Evening practice, though, definitely going to want a light jacket. We don't have any rain in the forecast. We're going to be near 57 degrees by 6 o'clock, then 52 degrees by 8 o'clock. So we're going to cool off quite quickly out there. That jacket is going to be a must. We continue to see those low risk of rip currents as well for our Alabama beaches as well as our Florida beaches, but I don't think anybody will be getting into the water because our temperatures over the next 10 hours in Fort Walton Beach are not going to warm up all that much. We're going to see those breezy conditions as well that'll continue on, and luckily, speaking of severe weather, no new tropical development is expected over the next 7-day period. We are now in our final month of the Atlantic hurricane season where we do see a sharp decline in activity. We may see another area of highlight being an area or two being highlighted within the next month or so, but luckily a lot of our activity is going to decrease. But there is a reason we may see some highlighted areas because we still see some buoy reports of temperatures in the 80s. Luckily close to home though, we are cooling off with our water temperatures right now. And our 7-day forecast shows that warming trend will start on Wednesday where temperatures will be above average in the upper 70s, even 80 degrees on Friday. Definitely going to be warm out there for November. Morning lows will be cool until about Wednesday. That front brings in a rain chance for Sunday, but after this 7-day period, we have fall-like temperatures returning in the forecast in the 10-day period.
Okay, Hannah, thank you for that. We've got a traffic alert now to tell you about. A big street is closing in downtown Mobile. South Conception at Church Street is now closed. County leaders say the closure is for crane operations at Government Plaza. The county is replacing an air handler in the North Tower. Officials say they expect it to take about 3 days to complete. Pedestrians will be rerouted to the Joachim Street entrance for safety during lifting days. And then another heads up, this time now in Daphne over in Baldwin County. Starting today, the city says Centennial Park will be closed to visitors. The city says the closure is being done as the city gets ready to decorate the park for the holidays. So it's for a good reason, which most closures are, but this is even fun with the Christmas holiday coming up. We're told the park closure will be from 7 a.m. until 3 p.m. today through Thursday, November 6th. For more information, you can contact Daphne Public Works at the number right there at the bottom of your screen. Well, did you know the most dangerous place for your child could be in your car? That's because statistics show most car seats are not installed or used correctly. Putting a car seat in your car is not as easy as it may seem. Lots of things can and do go wrong, and that in return puts your child in danger on the road. One of the biggest issues experts say comes with booster seats.
But the booster seat is needed to lift them up to make the seat belt fit properly over the bones. That's the most commonly used stage possible. We see the most fatalities in that age range.
Well, Fox 10 is committed to your family's safety, and we want to help make sure your children are safe in the car. So we invite you to come see us here at the Fox 10 studios on this Thursday for for a free car seat safety event. You're just going to pull your car into the parking lot here, and licensed car seat technicians will take a look at your car seats. They'll fix any problems that they may find. And we're partnering with USA Health Children's and Women's Hospital, so we'll be giving away a limited number of car seats at this event too. Again, it's a free event, and it could save your child's life. So please come see us this Thursday from 7 in the morning until 11 right here at the Fox 10 studios. Well, available right now on the Fox 10 Gulfstream, I should say, Sarah Wall is taking a look at the report showing what all goes wrong when you install car seats. And she has more information on our free car seat safety event that's here at the studios on Thursday. In-depth car seat safety check can be seen on the Fox 10 Gulfstream TV app. And you can always join the conversation on our Facebook page at 9 a.m. with Sarah. Well, straight ahead, one Mobile County family trying to become a Guinness Book of World Records holder. We've got details on what they're doing after the break. Welcome back. A Mobile County family says it has made the Guinness Book of World Records in a category you may not have ever heard of before. And if you have, a lot of brothers and sisters, we're sure you can relate. Fox 10 Steve Alexander explains.
Welcome to the annual Maurice and Mary Peru family reunion.
They were my grandparents, and my dad is one of 16.
15 are still living and gathered Saturday for their annual reunion and pictures. Granddaughter Jennifer Travis says last year the family decided it wanted to try to get in the Guinness Book of World Records
and try to go for the highest combined age of 15 living siblings.
The 15 siblings range in age from 64 to 89, a total of 1,142 years on Earth. Their family holds a reunion every year, but this year, Travis had a special announcement.
And on Thursday, I received an official email that we got the world record, and
the oldest, 89-year-old Raymond Peru, says the reunions are special.
Oh, it's good to see everybody, especially if they're doing good, health-wise, you know. Yeah. We got some that's not good health.
The youngest, 64-year-old Dwayne Peru, says the record is exciting and the reunions are part of a long family tradition.
We set it the first Saturday of November, and it's what our mom and dad started and wanted us to keep doing.
You know, there's a lot going on in this world, and just little happy stuff like this, I'm just tickled pink.
Steve Alexander, Fox 10 News.
Oh, that is so amazing. Congratulations to the Poirot family and their big honor. They're looking forward to their next family reunion. It's going to be on the first Saturday of November in 2026. So great just to have a family you can still get together with and celebrate in that way. I know their parents are proud, as they said. Well, airport delays now, they're mounting. We're going to have that story and more in your business headlines. Plus, it's Diabetes Awareness Month. What you need to know after the break. Hannah.
And what we're looking at for our forecast today, seasonable temperatures in the upper 60s across the area with plenty of sunshine, breezy conditions out of the north around 14 miles per hour. Then overnight tonight, starting at 5 p.m., we cool down quite quickly near 45 degrees with clear skies. Luckily, the winds do calm down just a bit. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Committed to you. This is Fox 10 Midday.
And here are your half-hour headlines. A top drug regulator at the Food and Drug Administration has stepped down amid controversy. Officials say George Tidmarsh submitted his resignation over the weekend. A spokeswoman for the Department of Health and Human Services said it was due to serious concerns about Tidmarsh's personal conduct. Tidmarsh allegedly posted a critical comment about a new drug made by a Canadian pharmaceutical company. According to the since-deleted post, Tidmarsh said the new drug had significant toxicity. The company filed a lawsuit Sunday accusing him of making false statements and soliciting a bribe. Pentagon Chief Pete Hegseth visits the demilitarized zone along the border with North Korea as part of a trip to South Korea. A military helicopter carrying Hegseth landed at a U.S. base near the DMZ's joint security area, where the defense secretary boarded a bus with his South Korean counterpart and other officials. They toured the heavily fortified DMZ ahead of talks expected to focus on the goal of reshaping the role of U.S. troops in that region. The defense chiefs are scheduled to hold the annual security consultation meeting tomorrow to chart the course of their military alliance and South Korea's defense against nuclear-armed North Korea. Auburn fires Hugh Freeze after losing to Kentucky 10-3 on Saturday. The loss dropped Auburn to 1-5 in the SEC and 4-5 overall. Auburn has 3 games left on the schedule against Vanderbilt, Mercer, and Alabama. They must win 2 of those to become bowl eligible. Freeze never had a winning season at Auburn and went 15-19. Freeze's buyout is reported to be over $15 million. This is the 3rd time since 2020 that Auburn will be searching for a new head coach. Defensive coordinator DJ Durkin will serve as the team's interim coach. Well, airport delays mount. Regulators are greenlighting bank mergers at the quickest pace in more than 30 years. And a poll shows most Americans want to put daylight saving time to bed. Yep. Fox's CJ Papa has today's business headlines.
Travelers across the country feeling the effects of the government shutdown. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy warning the disruptions will only get worse.
Safety is my top priority, and it is. We will delay, we will cancel any kind of flight across the national airspace to make sure people are safe.
Multiple ground stops reported over the weekend. Newark Liberty International Airport in New Jersey and LAX both facing staffing issues. On Wall Street, momentum carrying over after a strong October finish. Regulators approving bank mergers at the fastest pace in more than 3 decades. Nearly 150 mergers closing so far this year. They include Capital One's takeover of Discover, Fifth Third's deal for Comerica, and PNC's purchase of Colorado's First Bank.
From a competition perspective, right, how do you compete against JP Morgan? How do you compete against Bank of America? You've got to get bigger. You've got to bulk up. You have to invest more in technology.
And support for daylight saving time at its lowest level in U.S. history. More than half of Americans are ready to see the sun set on it completely. 40% are in favor. 10 states have enacted legislation to permanently observe daylight saving time, but they need congressional approval first. CJ Papa, Fox News.
It's one of the biggest takeovers of the year. Kenvue, that's the maker of Tylenol, has been sold to Kimberly-Clark. Now, Kimberly-Clark produces Huggies diapers and many other products. It's a $40 billion deal. Kenvue also makes Neutrogena, Band-Aid, and Johnson's baby powder. Kimberly-Clark also makes Kleenex and Cottonelle. It's been looking to expand into more products in health and wellness. Amazon and OpenAI ink their first partnership. Amazon's cloud computing unit, Amazon Web Services, has signed a multi-year partnership with OpenAI, maker of the artificial intelligence bot ChatGPT. Amazon says AWS's infrastructure will run and scale OpenAI's core AI workloads starting immediately. This is a $38 billion agreement.
Here's another live look outside at Fairhope Pier. Definitely see the wind waving there on the American flag and the water moving quite fast as well. Continue to see those sunny skies and we'll slowly warm up as we go on throughout our day. Taking a look at our temperatures right now, 61 degrees over in Fairhope. We have 61 degrees at Mobile Regional, 63 degrees in downtown Mobile, 61 degrees in Evergreen, and then 62 degrees in Pensacola with plenty of sunshine for our day. And as you make your way out the door over the next few hours, we're going to continue to stay in about the mid to upper 60s. Not much of a change there. 64 degrees by noon, 66 degrees at 1 o'clock, and that'll stay pretty consistent until about 4 o'clock. Then as the sun is setting at 5 o'clock, we'll lose some of that warmth to get to 61 degrees. You'll see the winds are staying pretty consistent at about 10 miles per hour as we go into the early evening hours. Any after school plans you may have today outdoors, maybe a light jacket or a long sleeve. Temperatures aren't going to be terrible. We'll be in the upper 60s, but by 5 o'clock we'll be at 61 degrees. No rain in sight. A sunny and pleasant afternoon ahead for us. Here's a look at our futurecast though. The big thing we're looking at. So this is that high pressure system that's actually over us right now. That's why we see those calm, clear skies right now in these pleasant conditions. That'll move through our area through the middle parts of this week and then exiting off to the east starting on Wednesday. Then we start to see an increase in cloud coverage, and for our Wednesday, maybe some sprinkles here and there going into Thursday. And because of that high leaving our area and another trough, or in other words, a front moving in, We're going to see a wind shift out of the southeast on Wednesday. This is actually going to add some moisture to our area and allow us to warm up. That's why we're seeing that warming trend here. So the muggy meter showing we're going to stay dry through Tuesday. They're going to introduce a little bit moisture on Wednesday, but we're still in that pleasant category. Same thing for Thursday. But look at Friday. We're in that a bit humid category with dew points near 66 degrees. So we're going to feel a little bit of that humidity there. Then our forecast lows over the next 7 days. We've been below average for quite some time now. We're going to be below average till about Wednesday in the upper 40s, and right where we're really supposed to be for Thursday. But Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, definitely going to be on the warmer side. This is when that front moves in. That's why we have an increase of rain chance on Sunday. But then that front leaves the area, and then we go back down to below average lows. And then the same thing for our forecast highs as well. Right where we're supposed to be for Monday as well as Tuesday. But starting on Wednesday, we're going to be in the upper 70s, even 80 degrees possibly on Friday. So definitely warm for November this time of year. Here's a look at our 7-day forecast, and you can see that rain chance coming in on Sunday. Only a 30% chance, really not going to help us out all that much with our drought-like conditions, but we'll take what we can get. And then as that high leaves our area on Wednesday, we're slowly going to introduce cloud coverage back into the forecast. But overall, the major thing we're looking at is that warming trend.
All right, Hannah, thank you. We've got some breaking news right now to bring you on the status of SNAP benefits. President Trump, the administration there, says it will partially fund SNAP after a pair of judges' rulings required it to keep the food aid program running. It's not clear how much beneficiaries will receive nor how quickly they will get it. It can take up to 2 weeks to load those SNAP cards, so keep that in mind. Of course, this is a developing story we will continue to follow for you, and we'll have more on Fox 10 News or Fox 10 Live at 3 o'clock today. Well, this month is all about diabetes awareness. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, about 1 in 10 people nationwide has it. And while there's different types, most people living with diabetes have been diagnosed with type 2. But according to clinical psychologists like Dr. Aaron Breedlove at The Ohio State University, there's higher risk for people with type 1 diabetes of also developing mental health issues over time. Fox News' Ted Linder takes a closer look.
With November marking Diabetes Awareness Month, the latest data from the CDC reveals 38.4 million people in the U.S. have some form of the disease, primarily either type 1 or type 2. According to medical experts at the Cleveland Clinic, type 1 diabetes is an autoimmune disorder where the body either makes very little or no insulin, a hormone critical for regulating blood sugar levels. For people with type 2 diabetes, their bodies can usually make insulin but don't use it the right way. Over time, unregulated diabetes can cause heart disease, nerve damage, and other serious complications. While both type 1 and type 2 diabetes require people to make lifestyle changes, people with type 1 diabetes need to take insulin every day to survive, either through injections or pumps. Those insulin doses and when they're administered must also be balanced according to a person's diet, exercise, and stress levels.
Type 1 diabetes is a heavy diagnosis to get.
And psychologists say having to constantly manage type 1 diabetes can lead to burnout, depression, and anxiety.
We found in that population, the rate of mood symptoms is 2 to 3 times in a population without type 1 diabetes. They're making so many decisions per day, it gets exhausting.
Mental health experts say people struggling with these feelings should talk to their loved ones and psychology professionals. This as they issue helpful reminders for combating stressful moments.
Anxiety and depression are part of, are regulated by your nervous system, and breathing can help regulate that nervous system.
Ted Lindner, Fox News.
All right, your chance to take charge of your heart health and help out a great cause at the same time is coming up. This year's Mobile Heart Walk takes place this Saturday, November 8th at the University of South Alabama. Every year, the Heart Association brings people together to raise money for heart disease research. Fox News is the media sponsor. You can still sign up to walk or simply donate on our website, foxntv.com, and we hope to see you out there. Well, straight ahead from us, Martha Stewart is taking over the menu at a cookie company, plus saying I do while in jail. One town in Ohio letting couples tie the knot on Halloween in a jailhouse wedding. Your Midday Talkers are up next. Right, Hannah. On Halloween, it was a jailhouse wedding for 9 couples in Ohio.
Oh my goodness. A former 18-cell county jail in central Ohio playing host to the Halloween-themed nuptial in the venue's grand lobby.
These days, the 1878 structure is owned by the Delaware County Historical Society, but until 1988, it served as the county lockup.
Court officials in Delaware County do weddings every other Friday, but when they realized that Halloween fell on a Friday this year, they began planning for the jailhouse weddings.
Court employees wore costumes and decorated the space with pumpkins and a spider web.
And couples were provided a way to take mugshot-style photos after their vows.
Organizers capped the number of weddings at 10, and 9 couples showed up. There's no word on whether the bride and groom who didn't show up got spooked.
Oh, I see what y'all did there.
Yeah, I don't know if I would want, I've thought about going to Vegas and just getting married in the past. I don't know if I'd want to do that.
I don't know about that either. I mean, call me bougie, but I've always wanted the elegant kind of wedding, and I don't want anybody in costumes.
As you should.
At mine.
Yep, I agree.
I don't know. It's just, I don't know. The skeletons in the back, they're throwing me off.
Yeah, it's a no for us, but to each his own. If you want to do it just real quick, get it over with. There you go.
Send us some photos because I am kind of I'm invested.
And people, Halloween's a lot of people's favorite holidays, so they like dressing up. All right, Martha Stewart now is bringing her expertise to Crumbl.
Stewart is taking the chain's entire menu over this week with 7 new desserts.
The culinary collaboration coming together to celebrate the reissue of Stewart's first book, Entertaining.
Each dessert was co-developed by Stewart as well as the Crumbl's menu team.
Highlights include the chocolate tart cookie, coconut layer cake, mile high lemon pie, and chocolate chip cookie thin.
Crumbl fans can try them now through Saturday. We were just talking about this.
We were. I'm very intrigued. Crumbl has some really good cookies on its lineup, and Martha Stewart is just a queen.
That chocolate one right there keeps popping up, and that is like keeps catching my eye. I love chocolate.
I love strawberry, like that right there.
That one I think is the coconut one.
I would love that.
I would like that one too. Hopefully it's not too strong, but as I've gotten older, I've loved the coconut flavor a lot more. But the lemon one also sounds intriguing, but I'm a little curious to see what they mean by chocolate chip cookie thins, because they already have like a few chocolate chip cookie lines.
Yeah.
They have the semi-sweet, the dark chocolate, and the regular one. So I'm curious what that's going to look like, because their cookies are known to be cakey.
Yeah, it may be like crunchier, thinner.
Maybe. Do you think it'll be the same size too? Like where it's like the size of your head?
I know, they're huge. We always split them in like fourths and eat them throughout the couple of days. Okay, we're going to try those. Caregivers at the New England Aquarium create a special area for aging penguins.
The Geriatric Island is a safe haven for older African penguins and is aimed at making their lives easier.
So it includes a carpeted path leading down to the water to help penguins with mobility issues.
Oh, that is precious. And a stand that makes it easier for the birds to hop out of the water.
The aquarium also installed additional cameras around the Geriatric Island so staff can better monitor the birds for signs of any other age-related problems.
I love this. This makes my heart so happy.
So sweet.
It is so sweet. I always feel for animals that, have arthritis. Before I even went into school for meteorology, I actually worked at an animal hospital for 5 years, and I learned a lot about dogs with arthritis, and this is amazing. I love seeing these options for penguins just to make their lives easier, because it can be really hard on animals, especially as they age and their joints and their bones, just like people.
Absolutely. Got to give care to people and animals. So very sweet. Good job there. Love that so much. Okay, I believe we are taking a break, but we're leaving you with this live look at Dauphin Island, and we've been talking about it. There's nothing bad to report about this forecast,
Nope,
Hannah.
there's not. Honestly, I need to start Googling ways to tell you that there's nothing happening out in the forecast. But we'll be right back with a new way to tell you it is sunny and clear outside.
The skies when the annual Macy's Thanksgiving Parade comes to town. Some new beloved high-flying characters will be front and center. Jeremy Roth gives us a sneak peek on who's headlining in today's Take a Look at This.
Everyone have a good Halloween? Great! Moving on! Thanksgiving is up next, so no time like the present to start all that holiday hoopla and hullabaloo. What can I say? Americans love a good holiday, and we have such short attention spans we can't even finish, "Hey, cool, Buzz Lightyear." What was I saying? Oh, right. Macy's lifted the veil on their annual Thanksgiving Day Parade balloon lineup to give a first look at some brand new balloons that will be flying high over one of the Big Apple's biggest celebrations. WCBS reports the preview went down, or should I say up, at the annual Balloon Fest event in New Jersey. Volunteer handlers did a test float of kooky new characters including Mario, Shrek, Buzz Lightyear, and Pac-Man. Speaking of characters, The Ohio State University got right to the point, breaking a pointy hat world record of sorts, and they did it all for their beloved mascot, Brutus Buckeye. For Brutus's birthday, nearly 2,000 people met in a university gym to attempt a world record for the largest gathering of people wearing conical party hats. Oh, it's a record, all right. And according to the Guinness judges that were on hand, it's now OSU's record. The gathered 1,924 hat-wearing students, faculty, and supporters were more than enough to break the previous record held since 2019. Finally, this last one may not be a record, but I'm going to go on the record and say this crazy double lotto winning story is one of the weirdest you may have heard. According to the Ohio Lottery, a Roseville man that had already won $50 on a best-of-7 scratch-off forgot his winning ticket at home when he went to cash it in, so just for kicks, he decided to buy another best-of-7 ticket and ended up winning $500,000 on the spot. 7 is certainly one lucky number for this charmed player, who's now $500,000 plus $50 richer. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
The end of the season, the end of the year is just flying by. Halloween's over. Now we move on to Thanksgiving, and of course, a lot of people already decorated for Christmas.
I mean, I started listening to Christmas music. I can't lie.
Okay, she started right here.
I did start.
I am typically a wait until Thanksgiving before you decorate for Christmas. That's me.
I get the decorating part, but
something's itching in me to go ahead and start.
See, I think it's because it's cold, because I forgot who I was talking to about it over the weekend. They're like, Nick, he brought it up. He's like, I'm in this Christmas spirit now. I think it's because it's cold.
Yeah.
Him and I were listening to Charlie Brown's Christmas album yesterday while we were getting ready for the Sunday evening show. I said, what's gotten into you? You're never like this. He's like, I don't know. It's like cold and I'm feeling festive.
Okay, well, I may break my rule. I may start decorating for Christmas. You're listening to Christmas music?
I'm listening to I do want to put my tree up. I'm not going to lie.
Okay. Well,
I got an itch too, guys. But with the forecast right now, we did mention how it's going to be cold. It's a little on the seasonable side, but we are below average for our Monday. Plenty of sunshine, not a cloud in the sky, not a drip of rain either. We're not even going to see any humidity in the forecast. But we do see a change starting on Wednesday. The high pressure system that is over us right now, what high pressure does is it acts as a dome. It prevents any rain, humidity, and clouds from getting into our area. Well, as you can see, starting on Wednesday, as that high leaves the area, we're going to slowly introduce cloud coverage back. And then a front's going to move through the area starting this weekend. That's why we have that 30% chance of rain, but not really going to see much of a change with our drought-like conditions. But look at our temperatures, 80 degrees on Friday. Even our morning lows are going to be near 60 degrees, 65 degrees on Saturday morning. But after that front moves through, look at our 10-day forecast. We go back to below average. We'll see temperatures getting back into the 60s starting on Monday there. So maybe if you're going to decorate for the holidays based off of if it's cold, maybe wait till next week.
Okay.
Then you'll be in the, holiday spirit a little bit more when temperatures back in the 60s.
Yep, can stay inside, maybe cut the heat on and get those Christmas decorations up, listen to some music, drink some hot chocolate.
Exactly. I will say, though, I don't put the heat on. I kind of suffer because I'm from the Midwest. I would not put the heat on when it's 60 degrees outside.
I know. It's a little too soon, but us Southerners, we're not used to it.
You're right.
It is what it is. All right, thanks so much for joining us on Fox 10 Midday today, y'all. We will see you at 3.